Okay, so you're all welcome. So today we are going to look at tables and links. So we are going to learn how to create tables and organize data, understand how to add links to a web page. So a table in terms of HTML is used to organize data into rows and columns. So the tag that we use for a table is the table tag, as you can see the table. And the table will have rows and headers and then cells. So that's the TR, HD, and the TD. So all those are used in conjunction with the table tag to be able to construct a table. So let's look at the table in action. Okay, so I have the table tag and then a new attribute that we've not seen before. That is border. And we are seeing one. So what this is going to do is that it's going to give you a border of one thickness border to define what the table is. If you don't provide the border, you will see the information organized well, but you don't see that it's in the table form. But when you use the border, then the tables will be well laid out for us to see. Then we are using the table row, TR, that's the row of the table, and the TH to define the what? Various columns. So this table is going to have two columns, header one, header two column. Then we have to create another row, and then we put the data inside. That is TD. So you see a difference between TH and then TD. And then we close the row and close the table. So let me quickly share my other screen. And then let's look at this in action. So come in and open my. Okay, so whilst I'm preparing my environment to show you the table, our me is still admonishing us to those who have not sent their assignment to do so. And also, if there's any issue, please let us be aware so that we can address it, so that we can all move together as a group. So please don't hesitate to let us know if there's any issue so that we can look at it. Yes. Oh, no problem, please. Body. Yes. The plans in them is the next well, let's find out what organizations. Okay, so the body tag is where we put the data that will show on the page. And then you said when you put in the paragraphs, what happened? Yes. Numbers, that's the empty. But the last one show one line. Okay, so you had a particular code. Deleted it. Oh, okay. I would have loved to see it so that we know what it is. So if you could reproduce it again and then we put it on the page for us and we'll all discuss it on the page. Okay. Okay. Okay, so please, can you see the page I'm sharing? Please, can you see the page I'm sharing?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I have this HTML structure. What I have done is that I have inputted the data we saw, information we saw about the table here. So I'm going to save this. Let's run a view how it looks like, and then we will come and then explain it. Where is this information? Okay, so can you see the output? So we have header one, header two, and we have hello, and we have world index. So let me explain the information and then let's look at the output once more. Okay, so this is what we are currently interested in. So I've defined the table, open and close it. And then I defined the border, that border is one. And then I gave it the first row. And then the first row is going to contain headers. That's why I use the TH, two headers. And the second row is containing two cells, TD, two cells, hello and world. Now, we saw the output with the border. Let me save it without the border. Let's see how it will look like on the screen for us. So without me showing the border, you see the information has been laid out nicely, but you're not seeing the border. So that's why the border is important. You can also use CSS to try and demarcate it and let you see that there's border and everything, but we are not looking at the raw structure using only HTML. So this is it. Okay, so in the previous example, we saw a link, but we are now going to talk about link as an element on its own. So we use link to help you navigate within the same page or to a different page. That's what we use links to do. We can use link for you to navigate within the page itself or to another page. And we use the href tag, and then we define the link. So that's how we define a link. So the link, the href is the attribute for that tag, the a tag, which is the link tag. And then the URL is the destination or where you want that link to go to. So let's look at it in an example. So this very example, we are going to showcase it on our page and we'll see how it looks like. So the first one is a link. So we will see the visit example, which will show on the page, but normally a link will be blue in color. And when you move the mouse over the link, then you see where the link is taking you to. So watercan.com, that's where it is taking you to. So this is a link taking you to another page, not your same website, but another website. Then the second one is a link taking you to another section of your document. So we are going to look at this in action. So let me go back. So what I have done is that in the cells, I've replaced it and I'm going to use two links. The first link is going to go to example 1. The second link is going to go to example 2. Now, example 1 is taking us out of our website to another page. But example 2 is within the same page. So the new thing here is that I've given the paragraph an ID, an attribute ID, and named it section. And I'm telling the link that the link should look for that ID called section. So if I click on it, it will take you to that section page where it's a section link that says this is another section showing you how to navigate within the same page. So this is what I've done. Let me save it. Let's see whether everything would work. Okay, so the link 1 is not showing us a link. So let me see. Oh, there's a spelling mistake. So you see the href, the F did not appear. Can you see the F is not there? So that's why it didn't show. So href like this. Let me give it a border. You can't see my screen. You can't see it at all. You can't see it at all.
I can see it too.
Okay, okay. I was on the. Let me share it again. Okay. Okay, so the mistake was that I forgot the F here. So it didn't show us a link. So I placed the F there. And now I've added the border here. That too. I want to save this. Let's go back to the HTML and see what happens. Okay, so now it's showing us a link. This also shows us a link. So let's click on this first one. Just click one border. It will not be a thick border. The thickness of the border. So this went us. But you see when you clicked on it, the icon has changed because now it shows you that it's a visitor link. You've seen it before. Now when I click on this one, because it is still on the same page, you didn't see anything. But at the top, you see that it's giving you the section here. So let me add some more data and let it go down. When you click on this, so that it will take us down. So last time, what I showed us was that there is a website called okay, so I want to generate 20 paragraphs of generate. So all this is data, dummy data. Okay, so I've put in a lot of data into this document. Let's click on it and see whether it will take us down to that particular link. So you see when I clicked on it, it has brought the section page down there for us. Let me go back again. Let me go to the top. When I click on it, see that it shifts down to this section for us. Do you see it? You're not seeing anything. You see my internet is not stable. Let me see. It's back now. Okay. Okay. Please, are you now seeing the page now? Okay, so this first one will take us to another page, but we want to look at this particular one, the second example two. Example two, what we are doing is that we are linking to the same page within the document. Okay, so I'm going to click on example two. You should see that it will shift us down to where example two is. So I click on it, see it has taken us down to where it is. You see it. Good. So this is a link within the link. So this is a link within the link. No. I've really left it from there to again. I go to the top, I click on it, shift me down to what? The section example. Let's go back to the code and then let's look at it. So this is what we did. With example two here, we are telling the link that it should look for, this hashtag means I look for an ID, name, section, and take me there. That's what it means. So if you look through my page, when you scroll down, you see that there's a ID called section here. So that's where it will take you to. So that's why it took us there. If, for instance, I want this whole thing to be shown at once, I can decide to use a div tag and put everything inside the div tag and then let the ID go inside the div. You might not see any significant change, but what we are doing, what we are telling the system to do is that when I click on the link, show everything in this div tag here. First, it was only taking us to the paragraph where the ID was, but because the page, the information is not a lot, you saw the section header example with all the information here. But if you have a lot of content, but you want to show that particular box that contains everything, you can either use a section tag or a div tag, give it that ID and put that information there. And then when you click on it, to take you to that particular part of the page. So let me refresh the page. When I click on it, you'll not see any significant change, but it has brought us to the section. But if there's a lot of page, you see that only that part would come to the top if there were a lot of information under the section. But that's how you can either use a div or you can link to a particular tag, or you can link to a group of tags using a div to open and close all those information into one section. So normally, if you want to divide your website into sections, we use div or sections. So when we go to design our blog post, we will see that in action, where we'll be using other tags that we've not heard before. But it's all a way of breaking the information down into various structures that becomes easy if you are trying to view your table as a whole. Okay, so there's a practical example here. We are going to create a table that lists our favorite books and their authors. So therefore, what it means is that you're going to have how many columns? How many columns are we going to have? 2 columns. One column listing the books, and the other column listing the authors. And then add a link to your favorite website. So let's quickly go back to our VS Code. And then let's see how we are going to do this. Let me clear what I have here. So it says that it should be what? Two books and authors. So books and then authors. Okay, so this is a row. So every row will have a book and author. That's why we have two cells here. One will be for the book, one will be for the author. So if you want to have more than one row, then we have to repeat this one some number of times. So you people are 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you give me a book and an author. So let's start with now a book and an author. You can create one by imagination. Is that? Is that? No sweetness here. That's the name of the book. No sickness or sweetness. Who wrote it? You. Okay, Kingsley, your book and your what book? Name of your book? Oh, you have to charge it. Oh, I have to charge it. I don't have cable. You have to charge it. I think. I think yeah. Oh, it's low battery. Okay, no, it's not low battery. Red. That means that the network is gonna. Not useful. The red is the network then. Kingsley, your book and your title, or your author. Great. Okay, who wrote it? Okay, so Mercy, your book and your author. Is that Animal Farm? George Orwell, eh? We use that for our literature in school. So the Animal Farms. Yeah, so that's one day. I remember it a lot. I remember it a lot. Then, please, yours. The name of the author, Ola Rotime. Rotime. Okay, if you say so. Mhm. Yes. Son. Hello, Adwa. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, so, first thing, we spoke about the assignment. So those who have not done it, quickly do it and let me have them. Then I think we've done a lot before seeing that you've joined. So we've updated the document with what we are doing today, and then the video will also be available for you to go through. And if you have any issue, also you could DM me on the side, and then we can talk about it. So we'll be continuing. If there's any issue, you could raise up your hand, and then we'll address it. Okay, so I hope you can all see this my screen. So we created the header. We created a row and we put in the header, books and artists. Then we have created 4 rows, each row containing a cell, 2 cells, one cell containing the book name and the other cell containing the author. And I created a link to more books here, and I just referenced CNN.com. That's what I've done. So I'm saving this, and then
HTTPS what? There's no W.
this is near this ago. So there's something we call wildcards for when you are searching for a domain on the internet. First, you needed to add a www. But what they've done is that they have been able to tell the system that when you say if you don't provide anything in front, you just use the HTTPS with the name of the website, it knows that it should add a www for a search. We could have even just said this way too. I think this one should even work. So this is supposed to work, but all the same, let's do this one first. We will come to that. We'll try that one to see. HTTPS. Okay, yes. So it means people are not sleeping, people are wide awake. Okay, so we see our table and then our artists are there. Let's see whether our link will work. Yeah, so it has taken us to. Okay, so this is what our assignment wanted us to do, which we have been able to do. So this is the equivalent of what we did. This is what the example is. So we did something similar to this. Okay, so we have another assignment. We are supposed to create a table that lists our favorite movies and their release years. Then you add 3 links to your favorite websites. 3 links to your favorite websites. Your favorite websites. It didn't specify. Yes, it didn't specify. So 3 websites. So
You have favorite movies.
So we'll be adding it to our pile of homework that we are supposed to do. Those who have not submitted any. So this will be the 3rd work. So those who have done 2 have 1, and those who have done 0 have 3. So please, admin says you should copy him when you're sending the note to me. So please make sure you copy him. Okay, good. So the next thing we're going to look at is images and nested elements. After this, we are going to design a blog page. And then next week, we will use CSS to style it or make it nice. Okay, so images are very important to websites. They make our website look nicer. When I say an image can speak 1,000 words, one image can tell us a lot about what is going on. So it's always important to be able to inculcate images in your web pages. So you're going to see how we can do that. You've already seen the IMG tag, that's the image tag, but we are now going to talk about it into details. And then you're going to look at how we can also do nested elements. What it means is that adding a tag within the tag that's nested. That's what we mean by nested. So we've seen a little bit of that, but we are now going to talk about it as a whole topic on its own. So images enhance the visual appeal of a web page and can provide additional information. So we use the IMG tag to be able to define our image. Now it has some attributes. So the attributes are the SRC. SRC is the link to the image. The alt is you giving the image a title or a description. And then you can even add a width and a height so that the image would be within that width and that height. Okay, so in the previous example, we use via.placeholder.com/something. So because we don't have an image, so we are going to do something like that. So let's go to our editor, and then we are going to add an image. Okay, let's see. So placeholder is a website that when you give it a parameter, for example, 150, it will give you something that is like an image, normally a box with a normally black color to represent the image. So if you have images, you can use that to show where you're going to put images on your website. But I think it is via.placeholder.com. So let's run it and let's see whether I am right. Okay, so you see that the image did not show. That's why I give you that symbol that you're seeing down there. So let me look for the correct website that will give me the placeholder. Is it please? Here. Oh, the same placeholder is no more. Okay, let me see. This is via.placeholder.com. Okay. Let me copy this and then let's go and use it on our. Okay, now the next problem we saw was that this image was put beside the link, but we want it to be something on its own. So we can decide that we want to create a paragraph and that image will be in that paragraph. But let me paste what we got. Cut it, put it in this paragraph, save it. And then let's go back here. So that image has been put there for us nicely like this. So with I think I'll add that link to you. So you can use this link to generate placeholders, image sizes that we can use. So if you don't have an image and you want to design a site, you can use this one to show where those images are going to be to make your site a little bit nicer to look at. So we've added an image here. Now, Okay, so nested elements. Nested elements means placing one element inside another. This helps us to organize content and apply states. So let's also look at the nested elements. So when we go back to here, okay, so this is what we are going to do. We are going to have a paragraph. That paragraph is going to contain some text. We are going to have a div. The div is going to contain a paragraph and it's going to contain some text. With the text, the image is going to be within the paragraph and the paragraph will also continue again. So I've said a lot. Let's see how it looks like. So let me create a div. In this div, I have a paragraph. I'm going to have two paragraphs. Now, let me go back to my I want data. So I'm going to MLR Epson. Let me copy this aspect. Come here, paste it here. Go back here. Now, let's say at this part of, can you see my screen? So let's say at this part of my first paragraph, I want to put a nested image. I want to put another information tag there. So I'm going to create a nested tag. So I'm going to use the image tag. So it's HTTPS. Yeah, please folder.com. I want a 150 by 150. Okay. So let's see what we get. Okay, so do you see the image there? 150 by 150. So you see, this whole thing here is a paragraph, but within the paragraph, I have placed the image inside the paragraph. So this is an example of a nested element. So let me go back to my code here. So this is what I did. So you can see that my paragraph starts from here, ends somewhere there. It doesn't end here, but then I've put in the image inside, and then it continues from the UT up to the end here. And then I have my next paragraph. And this is the output we got. It's not all that nice because we could have let the image come to this far end, or the image could have been in the middle. So you can see the my screen didn't change. Okay. Huh? Can you see now? It has changed now. Okay. So what I'm saying that the image is at this corner. The image could have come to this part here, or could have been in the middle, or the text could have wrapped around the image. So we'll see how we can use CSS to do all those things. But for now, the image is within the text. Some part of the text comes, the image comes, and so the rest of the text comes. But we'll see how we can do that. Or we can even use a table, but table without border. We will not see the border. Some text, some information will be here, some text will be here, and the information will continue. So let's try and put this inside a table, and then let's see whether we can style it small. So if you look at the earlier people were doing HTML, they were using a lot of tables to try and use the tables to create the website, but now CSS has come to save the day. So I'm going to create another table. without a border. And now this table is going to contain a row, and I don't need a header, so I'm going to use a TD for the cell. So this cell will contain this. And then I'm going to have another row, another cell, and I'll put the image there. Then I'll create another table row, and then I'll put this information here. Let's go back here. Let's see how it looks like. So refresh. Okay. So you see the position of the table has changed a little bit from the other one we saw. But this is a table. So we could have put this second row in the first row so that it will come nicely in the table. The image will still show at the corner here. So let me quickly do that and let's view it again. Okay, so what I am doing, which you are not seeing, is that I'm putting all the paragraphs, the Lord Ibsen. I first separated it into two paragraphs. I'm putting all in one paragraph and in one cell. Then the image is going to be in the other cell. So by doing that, this is what we've gotten. See, the image is there. Text here nicely. So, but we will be using to make all these changes. So we don't need to put them into tables. But this is how it looks like. It's nicer than the first one we did. So that will be another assignment. We are going to add an image of our favorite animal to a web page. Then we are going to create a nested structure with at least 2 levels of nesting. That means we do the first nesting and we put another thing into the second nesting. So I'll give you an example of that for us to see. And then with the image, if you don't have an image, let's use the placeholder thing we just did. We put a placeholder there. So let me go back to my IDE and let's look at a nested image within a nested information. So can you see my screen? Good. So you see that I have a paragraph page. Do you see the paragraph that I just created? So I can also put another paragraph in it. And in this paragraph too, I can also put another paragraph in it. So this first paragraph is a main paragraph. Then I have another paragraph which has another paragraph within it. So I can put information here, put information here, and put information here. When I save all of this, you might not see any visual change, but it's a nested element that I have still been able to what create. So let me share. So with what I did, this is what will come out. They are all paragraphs, but you don't see that it is nested. You cannot see it from here. But when I right click and I say view page source, so I can see that it's nested. So I have a paragraph and I put another paragraph inside, I put another paragraph inside. Now, let me give you an example of how this thing is very important. So I can use the div to create a border or a box and color it white. The inside the div, I can put a paragraph or an H1 and I'll say hello. So you see when you go to a website, you see that you see a big hero screen and you see some information inside. It's a nested element that we've done. So the first element is creating the box with using CSS to design the color. And they've put in another element, which is an H1, which is telling you, sometimes they divide it into two, an image at one side and then text at the other side. So it's a nested within a nested. So the first nested is the box that we see there. The second nested is the two sides, one side being the text and the other side being the image. Now, please, you can now ask a question. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I'm not a prophet.
Not gonna be like a paragraph in a paragraph, so the paragraph and there's a sample of paragraph. So that's how.
Yes. And maybe we saw when we were doing the list, when we did the list, order list and order list, we did the order list and we did the order list and put the on order list inside. It's a form of a nesting you are doing. So the order list will give you 1, 2, 3. On order list will give you the bullet points. So you see that we did 1, and under it you put some information. We did 2. When we're doing the was it the regions and the count of the number of people in the region? What do I do? Price of food, that example where we show that to get a carriage, KK is this amount, Wachi is this is that's an example of a nested thing we did. So we created the ordered list and we put it an ordered list inside. So that's a nested thing done. And you can have nested within nested within nested within nested. All is a way of pin or position the information on the page. A paragraph is just for you to display text in a if you want to in a paragraph, you just use the paragraph tag to display the text within that. So you with your CSS, you can use paragraphs and then you can style the paragraph. This paragraph should move here, this paragraph should go here, this paragraph go here, and you still have the visual appeal without using a lot of nested. Or you can also use divs and the CSS to move them on the screen where they're supposed to be. But these things were very popular in those days where CSS was not as frequent being used. So they'll use tables and they'll use element within element within element just to position things on the pages. But it's important to know because it's something that you might see. So that's why we are getting to know about it. Okay, so now we are going to design a blog. Now, we've all seen a blog. A blog will have the name of the blog. It will have a menu. It will have the blog post, the blog content, and a link for us to watch, view more or view the whole information. And then it might also have a footer. And then some other information. Okay, so we saw, did you see the footer tag? We use the footer tag. Okay, so we use a footer tag to tell the structure that this is going to be a footer. Then we'll use the main tag to tell our structure that this is the main page of our website. And then we use a nav tag to show that this is the navigation bar of our page. And then we will also use the other ones you know, the H1, H2, H3, other things to do that. So let's go back to our code editor. Okay, so the title, oh, sorry, I have not shared that page. Okay, you can see the page. Can you see the HTML, the Visual Studio Code? Okay, so this is the basic HTML structure. We have the body. Inside the body, we have the header. We have the nav, the main side, and you have the footer. The footer will be the navigation. The nav bar.
The main, no.
You're not seeing it, so let me go back again. Has it changed? Good. So this is a basic HTML structure we are going to use for our website. So what's the name of our blog post? What name should we give it? So we are going to name our blog post GH Hot News. Okay, so I hope you can all see my HTML. Okay, so in our header, we are going to have our title, GH Hot News, in our header. And then we are going to use a nav bar for us to be able to do the links. You see, when you go to the website, there's a links. You see the links. And the links are normally on ordered lists. So we'll do an ordered list. And then we'll have the links within it. So the first one will be home. A typical blog post, we have no host, home. What do we have? Yeah, but a blog post. Well, normally, what the blog post, what do you see in the blog post? And I'm going to call blog post. Home. You see,
Contact us.
normal blog post, do they put about us? Contact us. Okay, for advertisement and other things. Okay. Okay, so we do posts about and contact. Okay. About posts and contacts. Now, they need to link to somewhere. So we need to put them into a link. So do the href. And then this has to be here. I'm double clicking and dragging it to. There's a feature that is within your IDE. So I've done these links. So I've done my header. So you see that this is also a nested. We've done the header and we are nesting inside an H1 and a navigation link. Then this main is going to be the main content of our blog post. Then you have the footer. So copyright 2021 GH Hot News. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to use sections here. We're going to use sections here. So I'm creating a section. I've given it an ID home so that we can link it here. So when you click on it, to take you to the home page. Okay, so what we do is I will use this symbol and we say home. Because you use ID home, when we use this symbol, means I look for an ID called home. So if I click on home, it will bring me to this section. So this section is my blog post. So let's say that, let's change this one. Let's say that Cheddar storms a Sherman. So that is our blog post heading. Cheddar has stormed a Sherman. So this paragraph can tell us something more about the content. And we can decide to add an image to this for people to see the image of Cheddar being in a Sherman. So this is one section. So we can have various sections. So let's do another section. So I'm pasting some other content into the page. So this section is, and now I create another section. This is the starting, this is the ending. And I'm naming it posts. So if I copy this one, I need to come here and create my hashtag posts. So if I click on this link, it should take me to the post section. And this is my blog post, blog title, and I have an image. Then I have a link to the post. And I say read more. So I can also copy this one, and add it to the same section so that you can still read more under this section. So this is going to post.html. We've not created this. This is a page. Post.html, we've not created it yet. So we'll come to that one. Then I have my about. So let me copy the about to and link it to my about here. So that's my about. Then my contacts, copy my contacts and also link it here. Good. So this is my contact section. So this is a one-page website. Everything's on one page. We could have linked it to other pages, but this is a one-page website. So I have my section for my contact, section for my about, section for my post, section for my home. And this is a link that will take you to a post that I've not created this particular page, post.html. So let me save this. Now, let me open my note paint. I want to show you something before we continue. Okay. Good. I'm sharing my paint too. Are you seeing it? Good. Now, every website has a structure. So our website we are going to create, we also need to give it a structure. So our website is going to be in a folder. So the name of our folder is going to be blog. Inside this blog, we are going to have our index dot html. We are going to have an index.html. The index.html is the first page that every website will go to by default. So if you load your website onto online and it has to be accessed, the first page it will always go is the index.html. So what we are doing will be what we just did will be the index.html. But in this example, we are putting all the various things on one page. So the contact us, the blog, the home, everything was on one page. What we could have done was that we could have created pages called contacts and link it to that page so that when you click on contact, it will take you to that particular page. But for our what we just did, we are going to create a page called posts. Post.html. So that's where we are going to put our post information there. So this is going to be our structure that we are going to use. So I'm going to unshare this and go back to my HTML documents, my browser. Okay, so you see that my website is demo. You see that this site is called demo. Okay, so I'm going to rename this one. I'll rename this to blog. I'll rename demo to blog. Now you see you have the index. Then I have main.css. That's where I'm going to put all my CSS there. Then I have main.js. That's where I'm going to put all my JavaScript there. Now I'm going to delete this particular one. I don't need it. Then I'm going to create a folder called image. That's where I'm going to put all the images that we'll use for our blog posts there. So in our example, we saw that we have post.html. So that means that we need to create a post.html page. And that's where we put our post information. So I can say that H1 post page and save. So let me delete this one too. Good. So this is the structure of our website. We have the folder, which is inside, which is called demo. We have our image folder where we put all the images and we'll go and link the images from there. So when we are doing a CSS, we'll come and link the image, put the images there and link them from there. And then we'll come and populate. You see, this one also already has some CSS here, but we're going to clear everything and create our own CSS. And then the main two has it has nothing inside. Okay. So this is going to be how our structure is going to be. Now, let me save this and let's run this and let's see. Yeah. Okay, so this is our page. Let me refresh it and let's see what we get. So this is what we've gotten. So these are websites. You see, it's not nice, but we've gotten the structure well. So next week, we are going to use CSS to make it nice and make it very nice. But when I click on post, it should take me to the post page we just created. Oh, did I do it a link? It looks like I did it a link. So let me go back and see. Yes, I did it a link. So I should make it post.html. Oh, HTML. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so home will take you to the home side, about will take you to the about side, contact will take you to the contact side, all the same page. And because they are all on the same view, you don't see any movement because they are all on the same view. So you don't see any movement. So let's go to the post. So I click on post, let's take it out to the post page. So this post page, that's the next, you can see. You can see. Okay, so let me go back and then let's add something to the post page. So let's come here. The post page, I can have a link here to send us back to the home page. And our home page is what? Index.html. So I just put here index.html and save. So when we go back to our browser, when I refresh here, you see that home is here. When I click on home, it takes us back to the index page. When I click on post, it takes us to the post page. Home will take us back. But for about and contact, they are all on the same page. So, and it's the same view. So the page, that will make you see that there's any movement on it. But this is a simple blog post. We are going to build upon this one to design a very nice blog post. So next week, we are going to add CSS to make it nice, move things left, right, add colors, and make it very, very nice. Then we are going to add interactivity by using JavaScript so that we'll be clicking and some things will be happening. Or when the page loads, something will turn, something will move. All those things are JavaScript. We'll add them in there. So that brings us to the end of today's lesson. We have 2 more assignments to the first 2, making 4. So some people are already on 2. So the rest, please, if you have any problem, you can contact me and then we'll look at it. But that's for today. So if you have any question, please let me know. Let's know what to do.